publisher of comic books.
My name is Mimi Rosenheim, and I am the publisher of AiT Planet Lair, well, co-publisher. I also work with Larry Young, who is the publisher and creative person. I know Larry Young because, well, we're married, so I would say that that's how we started our business together.
It's called AiT Planet Lair.
AiT Planet Lair?
AiT Planet Lair, which is one of the most ridiculous aggregate names for a company ever.
It stands for Astronauts in Trouble / Planet Lair. The beginning of the company was our first series of books called Astronauts in Trouble. That's what AiT stands for.
When I was trying to get into comics, I did a review zine before websites were really a big deal. I called it Planet Lair. I was making medicines and vaccines for injection in a Class 100 clean room and wearing a little paper spacesuit. And if anything went wrong outside, we just had to sit there and try not to move or talk. And then one day I just started making up comic book stories in my head. And I went home and Mimi said, "You should really just do comics." So I did. I don't know if you remember the Pathfinder mission to Mars, but Mimi and I went, Mimi Rosenheim, my wife and partner, I went to go watch the telemetry, I guess, from the Mars mission, the little Tonka truck that they landed on Mars, and right before it landed on the moon, on the surface of Mars, they had all the telemetry, but changed to a cool computer graphics thing, with the narrator saying, "As you know, of course, there are no cameras on Mars to record the event." And the entire idea for my comic book, Astronauts in Trouble, came into my head, in that we had just gone to see the IMAX Everest thing like a couple of days before. And I was struck by the footprints in the snow up to the top as they filmed the guys ostensibly coming up to Everest for the first time. It just cracked me up because it's like, no, the cameraman got there first. And so that coupled with the telemetry from the Pathfinder mission, I was like, if people do return to the moon, the first guy back is going to be the CNN news camera guy to record the event officially. The story is the world's richest man goes to the moon and brings the Channel 7 news team with him. There's some debate about the nomenclature, but comic books, I feel, are the things that come out every month that have a staple in the side, and graphic novels look like books with a spine and stuff that you can read. There's literally a different answer for that for every person who's ever submitted me something. Sometimes it's as easy as my friend Joe Casey's a respected writer. He did Superman and X-Men, and he's a friend of mine, and came up to me at a trade show and said, "I have a story for you. It takes place on the moon." He said, "It's about werewolves." I'm like, "Werewolves on the moon?" He goes, "Yeah, because they're always werewolves, and because it's always a full moon on the moon." And I went, okay. And I found him, because we were at this trade show, I found him an artist in an hour. And when we came home, we did the contracts. That's the easiest way to do it, is like, be my friend and pitch me something good and be a respected industry professional. The other end of the spectrum is to really do a good comic and then send me the Xeroxes and I read it and we think it's something that's good and that we can market it. I mean, there's literally hundreds of answers to this question. It's hard to say.
We're looking for things that really strike our fancy. You know, a lot of this is, a lot of the reason why the company works is that it's because it's things that we enjoy to read.
I like to publish quality stories.
We don't want to publish a lot of things that are alike. So if we've done something like it, we probably might, you know, we likely won't do something else like that. And also we like to expand, you know, we like to expand what we've got. We've got everything from kids' books to, you know, very adult books.
The thing that's neat about comics is you can tell any kind of story. I would like to see the moon from the inside of a spacesuit. That's my plan for the future.
A lot of this is about staying ahead of the community and tapping into what would be considered the zeitgeist, right?
As a publisher, we have three good things that are coming up. First book is called, the first one that's coming out in September is called Rock Bottom. It's by Joe Casey and Charlie Adlard, who's actually the artist on the original Astronauts in Trouble stories. It's a story about a guy who's slowly turning into stone. And ordinarily, you'd think it might be a story like The Thing from Fantastic Four, but this is a guy who's literally turning into stone. It's a metaphor for any kind of, cancer or any kind of disease that you can think of and how it affects his family and his friends around him. It's pretty good. Well, chocolate clearly is James Earl Jones. And that, maybe a pepperoni pizza would be Bruce Willis. To get to the other side.